Alright, we're here in match 5 of this league. You know what? I'm going to keep this. We got a lot of redraws. Bolt may or may not be good. Against a control deck, we're going to have plenty of time to cast these Thought Scours. That could be a good thing. We're also not casting threats, which is a bad thing. Serum Vision's probably better than Thought Scour here. Do believe we want a shock. Grab us a Steam Vent. Bobble, Traverse. Disrupting Shoal, very unlikely to be good. Traverse the Ulvenwald, probably going to get turned on pretty easily. Actually, we have basic guarantee that it will be turned on. We have a bunch of instants we can play at our leisure. Do we want to see what they're going to draw now? I think we're going to wait a turn to bobble them. Steam Vents for the opponent. Jeskai something. Could be the Geist deck. Maybe it's a harder control version. Take a look at their top card. We already know ours. Celestial Colonnade. Sure. Now we can traverse here after casting a Scour. That puts down the Spell Snare, but there's not a lot that we're looking to do by holding up Spell Snare. I don't think there's much that the opponent's trying to flashback with Snapcaster Mage here. They can flashback a Serum Visions. That much is true. Thought Scour. We found the Shoal, which is unfortunate. Put that to the bottom for a reason. Let's get... I feel like it's just Tarmogoyf. We can Shoal Path, which is good. If the opponent has a Supreme Verdict, that's a lot less good. If the opponent has something like a Spell Snare, we're going to have to Shoal that. We probably just cast this Tarmogoyf before the Delver, I think. Might be Logic Knot. Should have played around Logic Knot. Can't Shoal that. They do play Logic Knot these days. That's gonna happen. Well, we have a very juicy graveyard. That's something. We're also in a terrible spot. You don't want the game to get to this point with the opponent at 15 life. We do have 2 bolts. That doesn't do much when the opponent's at 15 life, though. Probably going to see some removal spells on this Delver, given that the opponent has literally used none yet. Oh, Electrolyze. Oh, that's such a beating. We can't even scour into... We could scour into a Savage Knuckleblade. That's a 2-for-1 regardlessly, though. I think we just let that happen. We have to get the Nux and then Shoal with it. I don't think that's worth it. Oh, that's so good against us. Definitely should have started on the Delver if we're playing around Logic Knot. We're currently 1-4. No, we're currently 1-3. We're going to find out if we end up 1-4. I'm going to fetch here. Our life total is going to be relevant, and we also need these lands. Dismember. That's an out to Colonnade. It's not a good out to Colonnade. Why didn't I Scour there? How many lands just untapped? This Stomping Ground, I think one of these. Should have used a Scour. I think being 1-3 is getting to me. Which is bad. Very, very bad. Gonna have to play better. Let's play better. Probably easier when you're more cognizant of the fact that your play is slipping. We're milling creatures. That's not exactly what we want. Do we cast this or hold it for shoal? We probably just cast it. Okay. That's not bad. This is an acceptable string of draws. We have a way. It's not pretty. In fact, it's very well awful. But we have a way. I might fire off these bolts right now. Next turn, we draw the bauble. No, we have one more turn before we want to start going at it. Play this land, cast this bauble, go to the opponent. I believe we're going to fire off 2 bolts on their end step here. Draw the denial, draw a mystery card. I want to use these bolts now because they're probably not doing anything of substance otherwise. Maybe we just use 1 bolt so we can bolt a spell queller. That seems pretty reasonable. Colonnade costs 5 mana to animate. They'll have Colonnade plus 2 lands. I kind of like doing that. I definitely want to draw Denial. I also want to draw the extra card. Negate on top of the opponent's deck. That's really good. Okay. Let's grab a forest. I don't want to draw the forest. Don't think I want to draw the forest. I'm pretty happy to draw the second Denial. Now, what do we do here? We cast this. That's the easy part. If they have the Queller, we have to fight over it. If they don't have the Queller, we don't. Now I'm pretty sure we have to give it haste, which means if they animate Colonnade, we have to dismember the Colonnade, which means we're tapped out and we can't Denial, but if we don't try to attack with this, the opponent just casts Supreme Verdict. So I do believe we have to give this haste and go for it. We need to get damage in. That's the bottom line. If this is a path, we're going to shoal it. That's good. Shoal is actually really good here. Here's a path. We shoal that. Target this. Exile one of the denials. Once they remove Knuckleblade, Stubborn Denial becomes significantly worse. So I think I would rather use that than the Spell Snare. Do they just have second path? Okay. Counter that, and then they're going to be able to block with the Celestial Colonnade. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can do it. Or they just counter this and destroy us. Cryptic Command. Okay. Okay. We're going to lose Nux. We're going to get an island. On the bright side, the opponent only has 2 cards in hand. That is very real. And they're at 9. I mean, they probably have a non-zero number of Helices in their deck, but still. They're going to swing with Colonnade. They do need to end the game sometime this year. I like this Colonnade attack. It also lets them leave up Cryptic Command, which I like a lot. We know they have a negate. Actually, did they shuffle that away? MTGO wouldn't tell us. But, scroll, Mishra's Bauble. We looked at their top card. We went to our card, our turn, we drew. We cracked a fetch, we played Nux. They did stuff, they did more stuff. They cracked a Flooded Strand on our end step. Then they drew, which means they don't necessarily have negate. We know the Celestial Colonnade's on the battlefield. Mana Leak. That's not good. Do we bolt them? I think we actually bolt them. The opponent leaving up Cryptic Command suggests to me that they have a Cryptic Command in hand. On the other hand, they might have just been pretending they had a Cryptic Command. They also might not be able to animate Colonnade, Cryptic, and pay for Leak. They can't. Okay. Alright. Time to do it. Do the thing. Dismember this. We got it. Do we pay blue? We have so much blue mana, that doesn't even matter. We're gonna go to 2. Bolt kills us. Counter spells probably kill us. Lots of things kill us. But we're going to play to our outs like the good Magic players we are. Or at least the good Magic players we aspire to be. Dismember resolves. Snap Electrolyze even kills us. Flooded Strand, so bad here. Do I even keep that in hand? Getting these Steam Vents eventually doesn't look valuable to me at all. They might untap and go for Snap Electrolyze. They don't know anything about our hand. There's one revealed card here. That's the Goyf from Traverse. They have plenty of time to find their burn as well. We draw Delver. That's pretty acceptable. It'll hopefully get us closer to winning this game. If they have Path, that's... I mean, what are you going to do, right? We lose Delver. We don't get a land. Hopefully they won't expect us to have the Mountain postboard due to seeing us not get a basic there. That could be a non-zero advantage. If the opponent had a Bolt there, we would have just been dead. So I don't think we can really complain. Snapcaster Mage can be countered by Spell Snare, so that's good. Maybe they're just drawing a bunch of nothing as well. Serum Visions. That's a start. Mana Leak pretty bad. Hooting Mandrills is okay. Vapor Snag probably not great, but it can do a non-zero amount of work. Might end up... Look at our graveyard. I didn't even realize. It's too big. Our graveyard is actually too big. Okay, they pass to us. So either they have nothing or they're stockpiling a bunch of ways to just destroy us. Exile 1 Visions. 2 lands. We can afford to exile 2 lands, possibly one of 3 baubles. A Thought Scour. It's our duty as caretakers of the board state to clean up that graveyard. Send it over to the opponent. What do you got? It's a Snapcaster Mage. That gets Spell Snared. What else you got? It's a Negate. I think we have to snare that one too. I guess we can let that resolve and then snare the Snapcaster Mage again. If they try to counter this, we might be able to Mana Leak. They also might just be tapping us down because they have a Bolt in hand. I could see that. If they go for Cryptic here, we can counter it. Can't counter Negate. Do you have it? Am I dead? Let me know. Oh yeah, that screams dead. A Johnny. That'll do. Do we Mana Leak it? Is there a reason not to Mana Leak it? Have they seen Mana Leak yet? I mean, they have to be assuming we're on Mana Leak. I'm just going to let them Helix. Even if we go for the Mana Leak, we can't stop them. Target creature or player, they're going to Helix the face. That's game 1. That was a long one. Alright. A Johnny is not played in the Geist version. I'm not sure if maybe they sideboard things around, but I'm going to assume that we're not going to be facing down on a Geist of Saint Traft. That is very relevant because it means we're not going to follow my spreadsheet here, which is specifically for the tempo version of this deck. Boards in a Pyroclasm. I also like boarding in EE against that version of the deck, the Geist one, because it can hit Geist while also being able to blow up Rest in Peace. I think it's worth it here just as an out to Geist, because they might be running it. Blood Moon's great. PZ's something I want to try. Don't want the Sweepers or the Artifact Hate. Flash Freeze seems very good, and those seem pretty bad. 10 cards gonna come in. What's gonna come out? These are answers to Colonnade. Blood Moon answers Colonnade better. Spell Snare is very good. We're gonna take out a number of bolt effects. At least 2, maybe 3. Traverse is going to be stellar. Thought Scours can go. Do we trim a Mandrills? We have a lot of creatures right now. Our graveyard is going to be very, very heavy. I think we trim a Mandrills. I like the Traverses. It's probably just Shoal and Bolt at this point that come out. Take out a Lightning Bolt, take out Shoal. 18 minus 5, 13. We're not really shoaling anything with reliability. We have a decent chance of shoaling a 3-drop, but that's not a consideration. Let's go. Game 2 against Jeskai Control on the play, trying to not hit the 4-1. Do I keep this? This hand's not great. We're going to get a basic island. We have Blood Moon mana. That's something. We get a basic island. We cast Visions. I think this is a keep against a mid-range deck. Specifically against this kind of mid-range deck. The kind that doesn't have Thoughtseize makes me a little happier to keep this. Delver of Secrets, very good. Stubborn Denial, actually probably better than Mana Leak, and I do want one of these. The Mana Leak is likely to get shuffled back into the deck. Actually, it won't be. We're just going to shock with the Steam Vents. Draw a card. Pay shock. Go to the opponent. We have Denial if they go for something like not a Spell Pierce. If they go for a Lightning Helix, that's something we probably want to counter. If they let us untap and have 2 counter spells up, I'll be pretty happy. Delver of Secrets gets revealed. I actually kind of want to play that. The opponent might have Supreme Verdict, but if they Verdict 2 Delvers, I'm not even that upset. Verdict is backbreaking when it deals with our more difficult to kill threats. So I'm actually pretty okay with this. There's also the fact that they have so many ways to kill a Delver of Secrets. 4 paths. I have to assume 4 bolts. Throw in some electrolyzes, you know. Maybe they go land, electrolyze, we denial it. Excuse me. They're going to do nothing. Not going to crack that fetch. I want Delver Scry. Wooded Foothills. Nope. Scrying with Delvers. Delvers do scrying. What do we have? What do you see, O second Delver? Young Pyromancer. That's not something we're going to play yet. Do we shock? Let's us play both counter spells. Don't think that's something we actually need. We can play both counter spells already. Shocking here seems awful. We could shock, play Peasy, hold up Mana Leak. They untap and Verdict. Let's not do that. They have the Plains, which makes Blood Moon off the top a little bit worse. Still probably pretty good. Smells like... Oh, it's not Electrolyze. It's Vendilion Click. Do we Mana Leak that? I actually think I do Mana Leak that. That's probably going to take away one of our Mandrills. Or, sorry, our Mandrills. We can still Stubborn Denial a Planeswalker here, which is very relevant. Because if they go Nahiri, tick up, and these Delvers don't transform, we're going to be in trouble. 4 mana, it's a Verdict, that's fine. Question is, Mandrills or Peasy? Well, now I kind of just want to play out a Mandrills. Delve 3, creature, land, probably the Mana Leak. Instant, the least relevant card type in our graveyard at the moment. Colonnade tapped. Might be an upkeep path, in which case we're going to denial. It was not. Let's play this. I don't really want to play Peasy into second Verdict, but I might be persuaded to. Mostly because we have follow-up mandrills. How good is PZ into second verdict? They might not have the verdict. Most lists probably run 3. Jeskai control. Unfortunately, Jeskai control on MTG Goldfish lumps the Geist decks with the non-Geist decks. I don't believe the Geist decks run verdict in the main. It looks like the other ones run 2. In the board, I imagine everybody has 1 or 2, so they probably have 3 at the most. I kind of like playing into it. We do need to kill them, and Colonnade is going to be able to block mandrills soon, which means our threat isn't going to be that stellar. Vendilion Click, that one we can't stop. It's gonna resolve. Do they take anything? They took Denial, and we drew Destructive Revelry. That comes in case the opponent's running something like a Rest in Peace. I think that's okay. Do a lot of these Jeskai decks run Rest in Peace? Doesn't look like it. Maybe I shouldn't be boarding that in. That could be a huge mistake on my part. They have a land. They don't pay shock. They don't know that we don't currently have a counterspell, but they probably have a good idea that we don't. I think I want to swing with PZ here. We're not doing much if we're not attacking. This could be a Cryptic. No, it can't. Secure the Wastes. Oh, look at you. This is definitely hard control. They can actually trade with both of our threats. That's pretty good. Yeah, they take 2, so there's that. Yes, that is how we want to assign damage. Follow-up mandrills? Almost certainly. Do we play the Steam Vents? We might want it sooner or later. We definitely want to play this mandrills. How much do I want to delve? I think I just want to leave 1 mana up. Delve 3. Land is going to be replaced soon. Don't need all these creatures. This match is pretty quickly sliding into 1-4 territory. Is this a path? I know Jeskai runs a lot of removal, but is it just me or do they just have all of it? I guess that was the first path, so that's not even that surprising. This is a Colonnade activation, as it should be. No, it's not. It's an Elspeth? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, and we have this Destructive Revelry in hand? And we don't have sweepers? And we can't really do anything about this else. We have EE. Can that save us? We deal with Elspeth somehow, and then we blow up all the tokens. We're so unlikely to get there. Snapcaster Mage, Snap Visions, that's definitely the play. I'm gonna get the Mountain first. Visions gets targeted. Cast Visions. How do we even deal with this Elspeth? It's only a +1, so a bunch of Delvers might deal with it sooner or later. We don't have that kind of time, though. Ah, this is very unfortunate. I think I sideboarded wrong against this. I feel like Destructive Revelry isn't something we want. It's good against blue-white. I don't think it's good against this deck. We almost certainly just chump. Let's get rid of the one that isn't the same. Just make things a little cleaner. Here's a Sacred Foundry. Go to us. We drew a bauble. We'll cast it. So it looks like playing Destructive Revelry is Destructive Revelry in my spreadsheet against the Tempo version? It's not. I don't bring it in against the Geist version. So I probably should have taken a look at how I sideboard against the other version of Jeskai before going for this. It would have been a good idea. We wouldn't have had this in hand. which could have been a big deal. It probably wouldn't have been, but maybe we would have drawn... No, we didn't board out Denial. What would we have? A Thought Scour? Maybe another Mandrills? Knowing that they don't run much Graveyard Hate, running 4 Mandrills isn't that bad. But at the same time, they almost certainly have Relics. None of these lists that have been 5-0ing play Relic. Okay, so maybe you just go full-on Graveyard against Jeskai. We don't have blocks. We're going to go to 5. Looks like a 1-4. Smells like a 1-4. Oh boy, Spell Snare. I forgot to bobble. What are they going to draw? Flooded Strand. What are we going to draw? Blood Moon. A day late and $1 short. They're going to make those 1/1s very large. There's still no target for Revelry. I really wish we could blow up this emblem. That would at least be cool. As is, we're just super dead. There's the inevitable 1-4. Hopefully we can turn this around. That marks the end of our 10th league here on the channel. Hopefully, going forward, we can improve. We definitely made a lot of mistakes in this last league, probably in the few leading up to it. So this definitely wasn't all variance. I do believe it was somewhat variance that we lost some of those games that occurred recently. But I do think a lot of this, and debatably most of this, was on me. So naturally, I'm going to try to do better, see what I can address in my play, probably watch some of my matches before heading into the next league. Something like that. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video all the same. Thank you for watching all of these. It's been fun. I hope to see you in the next one.